Welcome to Civitai.com, the home of the generative AI art community. If you enjoy this video, please consider hitting us with a like and subscribing, as it'll go a long way in helping us continue to bring you the highest quality AI community content. Please enjoy the video. Welcome to a very special Civitai guest creator session. Today I am joined by WARANAKIN, who is one of the premier LoRa trainers on Civitai. He's been doing this a very long time. I would consider him a pioneer. And today we are very fortunate that we're going to get a glimpse into his process of LoRa trading. I know that everyone is always trying to train better LoRas so that we can generate better images and better videos. This man is going to bestow some of the knowledge on us. So without further ado, I'm going to let him introduce himself and give you guys a little bit of his background, because this is also the WARANAKIN face reveal. So WARANAKIN, thank you for joining us. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about who you are and how you even got started in all this, and then we'll get rolling.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Those were some strong words you had for me over there. One thing I like, well, the first thing I'd like to start with is what you mentioned about doing this for quite a long time. I just want to put it out there that it's as long as what was it, since it came out, the LORAs, in 2 years, 3 years at the top. So I've been doing this for about 3 years now. Um, Doing practically, meaning actually making the models, that's been, well, since the LoRa 6 came out. That's when I've started getting myself interested in this field, because the field, as you know, is a very large field. With the GPUs, initially I started with making modified drivers. So this is something, when I was telling you earlier, Tyler, that when we first go on the internet, right, and we build these digital personas of ourselves, of the things that we're interested in, for me it was how video cards work. So the architecture of these video cards is what started me on this road that ultimately ended up with using AI. Or can we, this is a very good question, can we call it AI when in fact it's more of a machine learning process? Because one of the questions that I'm sure a lot of people have is, what happens if you run the same training parameters twice? What is the AI in stable diffusion? Are you going to get the same exact result as you did the first time, given that nothing changes? And the answer to the question is no. The result is going to be the same. If you run the same training, same parameters, same everything, you will get the exact same result. That's because it's a machine learning process, but AI sounds sexier. Right, so it's the same with LLMs. For example, if you run the same training parameters, same everything, you will get the same process. So this is more of a machine learning that we're seeing over here. And another thing I want to point out is, if it was truly AI, at least for image generation, then it would adapt as you write your prompt. Does that happen with your generation, Tyler? Does the system learn from you typing it for your next prompt, show you a better image of something? No. See, so it's that's why I'm saying AI is just sexier. But yeah.
Maybe we have to change the name to Civit ML then. But it doesn't have the same. It
That's
doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same ring to it.
right. That's it. So nonetheless, like I was saying, I will kind of skip on that, but I was very involved with making the drivers, more of exploring the architecture of the drivers. We call them tweaked drivers, and there is still this a huge shout out over here to the guys from Tweak Force. Those were the drivers for the NVIDIA cards that I was part of the team. Obviously, Force evolved a lot since then. I don't have the exact link to their Twitter over there. Shame on me. But I definitely encourage you to look up. So it's called Tweak Force. Maybe Tyler, you want to put it in the chat as you hear it.
What's it? What's it called?
Tweak Force.
Hey, Anakin. For some reason, when you lean forward, your mic stutters.
Oh, really? I'm sorry about that,
Yeah.
everyone.
Is it tweak? Is it tweakforce.com?
No. It's like I said, it's on Twitter, right? So don't write tweakforce.com. I don't know where that's gonna take you. So don't try it out.
Gotcha. No worries. Okay, so guys, before we move forward here, we have a question for all of you. Would you prefer that War Anakin dives into character LoRa training or style LoRa training?
Just something
what would you
to
guys
think about.
Yeah, what would you guys rather see us which direction would you guys rather see us go more into today? Character LoRas or style LoRas?
Style. Okay, I see style character. Is there, Tyler, is there some sort of pool that you can make here on
No, we're just gonna have to
well, that's
see
that's
the answers.
that's an idea
who...
for the Twitter dev team over there. If they're hearing it, to include some sort of poll in this chat when we have live conversations, right? You could make a poll like that. Well, am I having issues or?
Let's see. Let's see. I think it looks like style is the winner according to the chat. We probably won't have time to dive into the sauce for both of them, but this also will not be the first time, the last time that Anakin comes on the Twitch stream.
You want me to jump straight at it, or because I can jump straight on the LoRa on the Civitai page? I was just
no man. Let's do it. The people are here for it.
All right, great. Let's see. So, what is it you said? The style.
Style.
All right, wonderful. So obviously we're gonna need images. Maybe let's find some images on Civit over there. Let's see. Ask people to throw some links. That way we could do one very fast because each person could, link an image.
They're not able to put links in the Twitch chat.
Oh man, that would have been all right. Well then, I guess we're gonna have to do them one by one.
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice.
Right. It is the concept.
Give me a minute.
It is the concepts that we are teaching them.
Give me a minute to think of a style that we could train. How about
shout out to Late Night Renders joining us in the chat. He is an amazing 3D artist. Good to see you here, man.
How about we make some sort of logos? How does logo sound good?
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's because this is more so about the concept of how they can apply this to their LoRa training, more so than the specific thing you're choosing.
All right, then let's do line art. How does line art sound? Or this is too easy. We should focus on something more complex. Just one.
Let's do something a little bit more complex.
Okay, then what type of I'm not an artistic person. Like me, I'm a very technical person. So usually when it comes to this type of content, that's why I mostly deal with people with requests that already want something, right? Like certain companies, let's say they want a LoRa because they want to make image generation of their spring Prada, handbags. So at that point, let's say there's 5 different bags. It's only about changing the colors, right? So you get the images of the 5 bags, you tag them, and then you train LoRas capable of, just changing the image, because that's one thing. For them, this sort of stuff kind of saves them money because they can, try different variations or whatnot. I mostly take care of the request, but I don't have. That's why I'm asking. In terms of style paintings, or what is it exactly that you would suggest? I can grab the images of Civitai.
I mean, I honestly, dude, it's whatever is easiest. Could we do some type of anime thing or
Anime. Okay, I do have some anime images. That's a good idea. Let me see. I will change
because
screens
we all
for a
know
second.
the chat we all know the chat loves the waifus.
Oh man, if I have a Wi-Fi. Let's see. Do you have a Wi-Fi, Tyler?
I do.
You do.
I do.
How about we make the 1980s anime? How does that sound?
Yes,
Or
that sounds perfect.
80s?
I love the 80s anime aesthetic.
All right, perfect. Let's do some 80s. I will put
Yes,
some images in here.
and the husbands too. And the husbands too. We can't forget about the husbands.
Oh, the husbands too. Let's see. Do I have any husbands here? Yes, there's one. He's kind of chubby. Let's see. Oh yes, we can definitely make this one. Great. So by the way, all I'm looking at is safe for work content. Here is or you can see the screen.
Yes, yes.
All right,
Your screen
wonderful.
is
So
down there.
I'm going to. All right, let's grab about 50 of them. So I would like to point out what I'm doing over here falls within legal aspects because I didn't rip any characters in here. This is purely for a style aesthetic. So meaning it's not one image pertaining to only one sort of cartoon, and this was scrapped of publicly available content. And when people upload things to the internet, usually they agree terms and conditions. So all these are images that fall within the rights to use case. Okay, so we have in here.
So in this folder, what are you gathering here? What are we looking at?
So what we did, we got 25 images. There's 25 images, 25 text files, and what we're interested in is we want to be able to mimic this particular style over here. So as you can see, this is 1980s anime. There's a variety of personas in here. What is this? This is a boy apparently. This here is I have someone on the team that is extremely talented and good at picking up the small uh, very intricate details in anime. It's stuff that me, like if I would just look at it, I wouldn't know. And I know for the matter, a lot of other people wouldn't be able to tell. So for example, this rare, I don't know whether the character is a boy or a girl exactly. The haircut is kind of throwing me off because me, right? I have no hair, so I'm very bad at judging the hair on people. So brown hair, something white shirt, orange vest, brown tie. This is a boy. Perfect. Okay, so it's a boy.
So these
This here.
captions were these captions manually made, or did you use some type of
Yes.
LLM for the captions?
No, I have not used an LLM. A lot of the people that I work with, they want stuff that is accurate, and I can only deliver an accurate product if I myself check every single one of these text files, right? Because if one of them is off, then you can't say it's accurate. So the time that is required for me to run this as an LLM and then check every single result that LLM spat out, it would be just as long as me grabbing another person or two and then doing the captions ourselves, because they're not that long, right? I mean, this one over here, yes, this is a little bit more complex because this is part of a larger request, but some of them, they're not that difficult. All you have to do is you need your style in here, which is going to be our trigger. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are already familiar with the trigger word of LORAs over there. And then what I do, I give a description of what's inside the image. Now, one thing you have to, well, I don't know if people can actually see it or not, but one thing I like to point out is that I do not mention anything related to the style of the image, right? So keep in mind, we're training a style, but I don't have a single caption that represents this style in any sort of way. So it means I'm not talking about the colors. I'm not talking about whether the lines are supposed to be, some sort of thickness, because this has a black outline. I mean, most anime, they have a black outline. So all these style particularities you do not mention. That's because that's the essence you want to capture when you do your training, and that's exactly what the system is going to target. So because you give it all these other things, these things that you mention in here, all these other captions and tokens, they become variables within the system. It means these are things that you are going to be able to make changes to. So it means you want a woman or a man, right? You can get the idea behind. So if I want to say a house or a roof or a sky, the things that I want to change, I put them in here. So
Oh, okay. So you're not mentioning things like the thickness of the lines or the outlines because that's stuff that you want to be consistent across everything.
That's the one thing that I do not want to change, the actual representation. All right. Now, obviously, things are going to get a lot more intricate than this. I've tried to make it as simple and easy as possible. So, like I said, we have different characters in here in different backgrounds, genders, clothing and outfits, sitting at a table, standing on a roof, looking in the distance, and there's also um, different camera angles, right? A system is only going to be as accurate as the information that you give it. Because if you don't give it the information, like we've had the discussion prior with machine learning and AI, right? It won't know. So unless you tell it, it doesn't. That's a correlation that is between the text encoder and the image itself. The text encoder has a pretty good grip on everything caption and words related. And then there's the image part. So I think a lot of the AI in text to image model, or what they consider AI, is the correlation of the word and the representation of that word or that pattern of pixels within the image. Because if you say dog, if you say woman or cat, right, it's a representation of pixels in its whole. So here, what am I doing? Train. Yeah, this mouse of mine keeps double clicking, man. It's You know what I find, Tyler? I find that a lot of the products that we buy lately, man, they're just not as good as they used to be.
You find that the what? Say that
I
one more
find
time.
that the quality of the products that we buy diminishes a lot faster than it used to.
Mm,
Um,
I would agree with that because they want you to buy it again.
let's see, a name. Can anyone suggest a name? Should we call it?
Um, let's call this 80s or just I don't know, just something retro anime flux or 80s anime flux or something of the sort.
How's this?
Perfect.
All right, wonderful. Let's do next. Let's drag the images in here. Oh, I have too many. Up to exceed 50 megs. This is not doesn't exceed 50 megs. What's the issue? Oh, 3 images resized down. Okay, I have something larger than. Hold on, because it says I have larger images. Oh yes. Okay. So there's apparently there's one. Let's see. 3, 6, 18. So we have 25 images. All right. I think it downscaled our image. This is the message over here. All right. Yeah. Okay. So the captions. Let's do them one by one. Okay. This is going to be a bit of a lengthy process. Maybe, I don't know, Tyler, you'd like to mention something?
Yeah, no, so, and obviously you can use the Civit auto captioner, but since he already has the captions
Would you like me to use the
prepared,
Civitai
he's
caption?
going. Well, no, since you already have
Okay.
them prepared, and you just have to copy and paste them in there, right?
Yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, I don't think I can just drag and drop the actual text. Can I? Like this? No, it's okay.
Oh
I
no.
see. Oh,
Okay. Then maybe let's just use the auto captioner for
uh,
now, and then
what I can do,
we can alter it a little.
I can also just do this. Like, it's gonna take
Per-
a minute, but that's about it. It's not big.
yeah. No. All good.
Oh,
All
good. All
good.
right, wonderful. Then let's do it. Maybe let's see, change this to view.
And while you're doing that, um, oh yeah. So Anakin, a
Mhm.
bunch of guys in the chat are saying create one zip file with everything in it, and then Civit will understand it.
Oh, really? Wonderful. Then let's do that because that sounds a lot quicker. Do I need to have a folder in there straight away?
No, just so zip all the images with the caption with the captions into one single zip file.
Done. Right? And do I just drag and drop the file like this?
I think you have to probably
Reset.
delete the, yeah. Just zip it and drop it in. Wait, is that a zip file that you're dropping in
Oh,
there?
it's a zip, not the WinRAR. Okay, I see. It needs to be a zip. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Let me make it a zip. At archive.
Sorry, guys. I know that a lot. He does his stuff manually.
Yes, I
Off of
mostly
Civit.
use other things. I will show you the other things as
We're
well. So it's gonna be interesting.
we're trying to make this accessible for everyone, though.
Wonderful. All right. So one thing that you will notice, on top of what I mentioned, the fact that I did not describe the style in any sort of way, is the unique tag that we have in front of these images. Now, why is this important? This has to do with training when you have shuffle captioning enabled, whether you want to save this first caption and scramble all the rest. So you're going to save this one, but it's going to scramble all the other ones. Usually, you would do this. It's presumed that if you enable this setting, like I've just explained it over there, the system is going to learn that disregarding of the way these words are put together, some sort of visual representation is supposed to happen. Now, I have yet to do all the research and development related to this, whether to prove if this is real or not. But for now, that's the assumption. So I can tell you that either way you do it, it works. So you will still see the results, whether you have shuffle captioning enabled or not. So, because the question is, does it do it better? So that's something that we don't know yet. So I own the rights. I want to share my data set. Let's do next. Right, perfect. Is the name type style, images with label type tag. Okay, that's perfect. Multi-training. Oh, we don't need to do up to 5 training runs at once. Okay, wonderful. Sample image prompt. I
And
believe
then,
this is
did you want to change this to Flux?
I'll change it over here. Hold on.
Bam.
I was gonna come to that. Let's see any sort of, or should we just do this quickly, or should we get some samples from the training? What samples or no samples? What does the world say?
When you guys train in the Civitai trainer, do you usually put in your own sample prompts, or do you let the trainer do it for you? What does the community generally do there?
What is this error message over here? You have tagged images, but Flux works best with captions. You have tagged images, but Flux works best. That's what they are. They're images with captions in the zip form. So let's see what the issue is in here. I don't see. Okay, I
Just there you go. There you go. Boom. Okay, so for anyone that didn't catch that, if you are training a Flux model and the website gives you the little message to let you know, make sure you select caption and not tag on the top.
Okay, but does this do anything differently, like between tag and captions? Like what's it changing?
K bro or KF Tiger in the chat says that you can't fix it unless you use captions, but Flux works fine with tags. So
Perfect.
I
Thank
think
you.
it's fine either way.
Thank you. See, someone has done the math. All right. So we were discussing the image prompts with or without.
Yeah, we can just let it automatically do it.
All right, perfect. Let me move this on the other screen so I can see the chat as well. This here, there, perfect, good. Um, what was it, Tyler? Sorry, I got lost for a second.
Yeah, no, we can just let it automatically do it.
Okay, engine Koya, rapid. I have not tried rapid. All right, what is rapid? Epochs. Let's do how many images we have? 25. And we can do 10. It's fine.
Okay, wait. We actually got one request in the chat for you to put one prompt in that says a cat aiming a pistol at the viewer.
Awesome.
And
Okay.
Daz said that rapid is one epoch super fast training.
Wow. I think that's the unique identifier we were going for. Hold on, because I've misclicked on empty Photoshop over there. Oh, okay, it's the other one. See, I was about to make a mistake. All right, look at aiming a pistol at the viewer. Number of repeats. Okay, we are doing Korea, we're on Flex, we're dev. I'm doing the math because there's so many different versions and they all this is you see, this is a misconception that I've seen happen quite a lot in the community. People think that if you have someone's list of training parameters, their config, the config kind of evolved to be this golden sort of cup that the people are seeing this is going to be their escape, right? The list of parameters, this is something that works specific to a model. There is no golden list of parameters. There's golden values within a specific training, but there is not one list of values that does it perfectly for all of them, right? So there, for everything you train, there's this little bit that you can tweak extra so that it performs right in a specific way. So having said that, I'm not exactly just dumping numbers in here. I'm kind of thinking at the same time based on my experience and the results that I've seen, trying to put in here the best values. So for Flux, number of repeats. So this is the 80s anime over there. Based on what I've seen in the past, we would need, we need around 25 to 30 in here so that it catches real fast. But we only have 25 images. think we might be better off with 20 because we don't have that many. All right, train batch size. Man, every time I say train, I think of the choo-choo train is the word itself. All right, batch size 4. Yes, this is fine. Resolution. I believe we have some pretty big images in there. So let's do 1024 bucket. This is using, we have different resolutions. Keep tokens. This is what I was explaining previously about having the option to save the first token or the first and the second or the first 3 tokens. Don't really need that. You can leave it as one. This only works if you have the shuffle tags enabled. I don't know why in here. So probably on Civit is the I don't, they've enabled the text encoders to be trainable for Flux. So I don't know if the Civit backend, which version of the scripts of Koya it's running. Cosine with
that would be a question for someone much smarter than me.
Let's do regular constant. Constant with warm up is pretty good. Okay. Learning scheduler cycles. Can leave it as is. SNR gamma.
Real fell dude says that text encoder is not trainable in Civit.
Okay, not yet. But I would like the community to know that at least on the LoRa side, you are capable to train both text encoders. So that means you can train with clip L enabled, and you can train the T5 text-to-text transform encoder as well. You can set independent learn rates from one another. Now, in what exactitude and accuracy these things works, I have yet to really do the research on, but that's what's claimed. So on the LoRa side, you can do it. This is going to be very helpful. For example, you want to train multiple characters, at the same time. Let's say you want to do a chicken farm, and you have the rooster and you have the chicken. Well, you can call the chicken Elena, and you can call the rooster Bob, right? So you can train both of them, and you can have very colored rooster and I don't know, some white chicken in there, and these differences are going to be trainable with the 2 text encoders over there. How you want to use them, that's entirely up to the people, like I said. Okay, let's see. With SNR gamma, this is something that I wanted to actually talk about. Me personally, when I train with SNR enabled, I use the value of 0, and this is because this here, the way this value works is it impacts a couple of things during training. So one of the first things it has to do is the gamma. So I can tell you just by looking at this here that is going to impact the color reproduction in some sort of fashion. So they might be more pronounced, more accentuated based on what I've seen and the definitions that I've read. The SNR gamma, the lower the value, the higher the strength. So a value of 20 would be minimum strength, and the value of 1 would be the highest. We're not going to use that for now. And the reason I don't want to use it is because, like I said, it alters the color of this particular style. So you see, Tyler, depending on what it is that you're training, this is what I'm telling you, the list of parameters needs to be accustomed to what it is that you're doing. Because if we would enable this, then the color that we would get, the accuracy of the colors wouldn't necessarily be something that's relevant to the actual colors of the style themselves. So that's one of the things that you can tweak in order to get results that are more inclined to what you have to do. Okay, noise offset. We don't really need a noise offset for Flux. You can trim the noise offset of 0. That's fine. Network alpha and network dims. Usually I would go for values of 32. Now this value over here, especially the dim, this has a direct impact on the size of the file itself. So a higher value in here also means a higher file size, and depending on the architecture that you're running, so whether it's Flux or it says the XL as 1.5, they have different file sizes. So Flux is more powerful and better looking. it's obvious that the file size is going to be larger. I believe the 32 dim in file size for Flux is, I don't know if it's twice the size of an SDXL of the same value. So it's they're pretty large. What actually happens in these DIMMs, I don't know, Tyler, if you've ever seen or been to school into how they transform analog signals to digital.
I can tell you, I definitely have not.
Well, let's assume you have a so when you would 3D model that hand, you would have a number of polygons around it. So the more you have, imagine you have 1024, it means that it's not as long.
Your Anakin, your mic is really breaking up.
Okay, let me do something else. Hold on. I have a wire in here. I am prepared.
Yeah, so someone suggested maybe we turn your camera off to try to improve the latency to fix your audio issues.
That's one thing we can do. All right, let's see. Where are you? Civitai stream.
You could hit the disable camera button on the bottom of the center of the screen on.
Hold on.
Oh, no. So yeah, you want to share your screen. You just want to turn your camera off.
I've there we go.
There we go. And then reshare your screen with me. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure that we can hear everything that he's saying, because there's a lot of good information. That sounds good. Let me bring your screen back now. Boom.
All right. So now I don't think it's gonna freeze anymore. I've put you on. Oh, can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. All right. So coming back to what we was doing. Remember how I was saying the hand, the higher the number of polygons, the more realistic the hand looks, meaning the rounder corners, rounder everything. So it's the same thing in here. The higher this number you get, the more fidelity you're gonna put into your LoRa digitally, so to speak. All right, coming here, network alpha 32, noise offset, which is something we already spoke about, optimizer. So most of the time I would train with ADA factor. Adam 8-bit is fine. Prodigy is the type of optimizer that I've seen to be very very popular within the community. I've seen a lot of people use it. That's because it's an optimizer that kind of does things by itself. But for our own example over here, we're gonna do Adam 8-bit. Okay, we can. It's gonna take an hour and 25 minutes. If we do this high priority,
yes,
maybe.
Yeah, so we're obviously not going to get the LoRa back within the stream, but with that being said, we can also jump to RunPod while this is happening, and then the community can check out the LoRa on your profile later after the stream is done.
Yes, that's.
But I wanted them to actually see like the settings you were choosing and the reasons you were choosing it, which is what we got.
I would like, while this is actually running in the background, as you've seen, there was a couple of parameters in the list over there. Now there is a lot more, and I mean undocumented parameters as well. I will show you, give you a little bit of a sneak peek behind how these things are made. I think I had GitHub open up in here, so well, irrelevant. I can open up a new one. Does anyone have any questions up to this point?
I think so we had a question here, which is would you recommend different Koya settings for style, character, and object? Like, how much would all those numbers differ based on the particular thing you're doing?
is not really about the numbers. Let me see. Do I have? Yes, I do. All right. This is not safe for work, though it's let me move it on this other screen real quick, and so there is no weird stuff.
Yes,
Let's see.
we cannot have the boobies flash on
No,
the
I
stream.
don't have. It's nothing like that. Yes, I found it over there. Open it up. It'll be a second. Right. So that's perfect. Nothing ugly over there. It'll be 1 minute.
So, someone asked if the wallpaper tiger is AI or if it's a real tiger.
But that's a real tiger.
Yeah, your mic is still a little choppy. I mean, even though we might get a little bit of background feedback, maybe we switch your microphone
Okay.
to the webcam,
To the webcam.
just for this, just how we originally had it when I first got on with you, just so
Okay, sure.
we can
Definitely do that. I am in the settings, audio.
All right. Test.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's
Yes. Let me make you.
low. Or is it just bad? How about now? Is it better?
Yeah. No. Never mind. Let's go back to the mic. We're just gonna have to deal with it. It's all good. The most of what you're saying is coming across.
This is on me. It's my fault. I don't stream much, and I think it shows, right? Because I don't have the right equipment for it. It's mostly for tech and development talks and calls. It's not really made.
Oh,
for,
this sounds better. This sounds good. This sounds good. Whatever you're doing right now, this is perfect. Let's stay with this.
All right. Wonderful. that works with me. That works with me. All right. So coming back to what I was saying, I'm sure you guys can see this, right? So you recall
Yes.
the mean SNR gamma parameter over there. So I'd like to show you the impact these values actually have, because it's not just about putting 1 or 2. It's the intricacy and how the system gets into this. It's a little bit more complex. So what I'm showing you over here, these are 3 columns, as you can see in here. On the left, you have a value of mean SNR 5. So let me grab the brush over here. Let me make it a different color. Let's make it green. So I am going to enable this. All right. And oh boy, my handwriting on the computer is phenomenal. So this is mean SNR with the value of 5, in here with the value of 1, and in here with the value of 1 again. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I have that right. Give me 1 minute so that I don't say some stupidity over here. Let me, because it's been a while since I brought up this page over here with
No worries. No worries.
All right, wonderful. Yes, I was having that over there. I had it all wrong, so I apologize. I was about to say something really dumb. So coming back, this is 5 repeats. Okay, this is 5 repeats. This is 1 repeat. This is 1 repeat with SNR enabled, meaning SNR on the rightmost column is enabled at a value of 5. That's why, yeah, it's my writing that's messed up. So leftmost column, no SNR, it's 5 repeats. Then in the middle, what is this? We have 1 repeat SNR disabled, then 1 repeat with SNR enabled. The prompt behind this image, it says that this is a lady that's supposed to be wearing the Venom symbiote, and that her mouth is supposed to be closed. Now, in the dataset, I had images of open mouth. I had open mouth with teeth. I also had open mouth with the tongue out. But for the purpose of this exercise, this one over here said that she needs to be with her mouth closed. So training happened starting with epoch 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an Easter egg, but there's two types of training available to you. That's how these schedulers and optimizers were initially coded. And I'm pretty sure most of you have seen it, but probably didn't know what it is exactly. The two types I'm talking about is the way Koya has it, where you have the repeats, you have the epochs, the batch size impacts the number of steps, and then you also have the second version of training where you only give the system the number of steps, and the changes that you make to the batch size is irrelevant. Also, the number of images that you have is irrelevant. You just tell it that you want to do it for 10,000 steps, and the system is going to take care of it. It's a bit more of I put my faith in the system type of thing and press enter. Whereas in Koya, you can be a bit more detailed and systematic with your choices. So in here, the first one says 1 epoch, 5 repeats. You can see that by the second epoch, third, and fourth, her mouth is still closed. That's because by having 5 repeats, it means before it's done this one cycle, it iterated over all the images in that particular folder 5 times. And 5 times with whatever scheduler and optimizer was used to do this particular training, 5 times was enough for the system to figure out that her with the mouse closed, this is what she's supposed to look like. And then you can see that look remain consistent across the entirety of the generations. Now, obviously, you might have like a little thing here and there. That's because it's kind of trying to figure out what the hell it is that you want. Now, when we come to the middle column over here, because this is the number of repeats is 5 times lower, I want to point out that the parameters and all the settings are the same for this training. So in here, with 1 repeat and 1 epoch, she starts with her mouth open. That's because the system did not have enough time to iterate over the images as it did in the previous one. It went 5 times over it. It picked on the fact that the closed mouth, it's this. So in here, it has yet to learn, but you'll see that as we go through the epochs 2, 3, and 4, it gets there. So now finally, by the 4th epoch, you're gonna have an image where, you know, whatever is the thing that you were teaching the system, it finally learned it. Now, when you bring SNR into the picture, because of the way SNR works, first thing you will notice is that the reds are much more red. That's because, like I said, it impacts colors. It has a direct impact on these things. So you can see it, you know, throughout the image. But as we go through the actual generations, the purpose and the point of SNR is to hasten the training a little bit, to make it go faster. That's the purpose of SNR, to help you iterate quicker over these images in order to have your results. So SNR is more focused on the end result rather than doing accurate prompt correlation, because in here what you're sacrificing for the end result, which, you know, don't get me wrong, it's a woman wearing the symbiote, but you're also going to start losing a little bit of these details, and that's because with SNR enabled, you will cook a little bit faster. So you will see how, as we go through these images, the details on the right side where we have SNR is going to be more flushed out, right? Instead of staying sharp like it does on the other side, it's becoming more and more smooth with the image. Whereas in the previous ones, it's well, it's not quite like that. That's because, like I said, SNR, it's more for giving you that end result. Now, this does not mean in any shape or form that SNR is not a good option.
it's a good option, but I would advise more to use it, for example, for static objects, like a car parked in a driveway, right, where there is not too much variety, because the car is just a car, and the color. It's more complex for people, and when you have this type of intricate details on it. So SNR is going to do very well for landscapes and things that actually require some sort of vibrancy to them, because you want to make an impact when you look at those images.
So here's a question based on everything you're saying right now about SNR. Does this apply to 1.5 SDXL and Flux
Yes,
all the same?
SNR, this is a parameter that works across the entire range of models. So whenever you're going to train on a model, when you see this parameter, at least in the machine learning space, this is what the parameter does. I don't know if this is available for LLMs and how it like the impact that it has on the LLM and the generation of text, but on images, this is what it does.
Are there any we had someone in the chat. He just said he would encourage people to read the RXIV paper. The sampler and optimizer play a huge role. I know you also read a lot of the papers and the technical material. Would you encourage people to do more of that?
Well, that's how I've learned what I learned is through the official documents, paper, the articles. Because initially, I was going left and right, asking questions. It's not like I was born with this knowledge or anything like that. I had to acquire it. And I've one thing that I've noticed is that everyone seemed to know something, but not enough. It was always, okay, this person knows a little bit of this person knows a little bit of that. So it was putting everything together that eventually made sense. And then what I did, okay, people are talking about stuff, but what's important is for those things to correlate with some sort of article as well. So one thing I like to mention, for example, is for the Dreamboost paper over here. Let me bring it on this other screen. So in the Dreamboost paper, it actually says that you can do training with as little as 1 to 3 images. That's the minimum required number of images in order to do stable diffusion training, and that's available in the actual Dreamboost paper. In here, it also talks about it talks about the number of settings, which includes prior preservation loss. So this is a parameter that you can actually train with. It's available in Koya, and it performs if you read the paper, it'll tell you kind of what it does and what to expect from it.
They asked if you can check to see if there's any previews in the LoRa yet.
I am on the LoRa. Actually, I'm right here, but we didn't set any samples. We set the cat, right? Yes. We set the cat. I apologize. It's not yet there, guys. It's coming. It's coming. It'll be there.
Mar Misuki says, "Can we have a link to a paper too?" So for the Dreambooth one, I'm pretty sure if you just Google it, you can find the Dreambooth paper.
Let me see if I can.
But also good to note from Real Fell Dude is that Dreambooth fine tuning is not available in the Civitai trainer.
Here, this what I'm saying is that there are parameters in here that apply to both fine-tuning model and LORAs. So this is one of them. So SNR meaning, and so is with prior preservation. It's another parameter that is available for both models and LORAs. And I think this here is the link to the actual book, Tyler, to the article. You just write down Dreamboost in Google, and I believe it's the second link. Was that? Yes. You guys can still see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. So we don't have yet any samples.
Yeah, I guess I should have future paced here, and we should have started training this thing way before the
But
stream.
no, we did, because you mean to start it before the train? Yes, I know, but we're gonna get some samples. I'm pretty sure that throughout the train we'll get some samples. Who knows? Maybe we're lucky, and the machine gods on the other side are gonna push our LoRa to the queue, like, increase the priority on the processes.
Well, while we're waiting to see if we get anything from here, since I don't think we're gonna have time to dive into the run pod side of things,
Well,
do
that's
you?
what I wanted to actually show you the
Oh
next thing.
yeah, go for it.
So, one of the parameters, for example, that's not available with the Civitai train over there, because mean SNR, as you've seen, that one is available, but there are a few of them that are not. So the prior preservation one, which is this one over here that I was mentioning, this is only available when you use the actual interface to train using Koya's scripts. I would like for the people to be aware that Koya is the person. A huge shout out to him, and saying thanks for have made this incredible and amazing tool that we all use. Having said that, hold on, because I've lost my train of thought for a second. Having said that, this is only available when you use the actual scripts. Now, on the other hand, yes, what I wanted to mention is that the person responsible for writing the user interface is BM Multi. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Nonetheless, I will show you a few things that. Let's see, boot up in here. I will take the people through a quick deploy. Let's use over here. Let's deploy on an RTX 6000 ADA. It's a very good video card. I believe a lot of people know RunPod, so I was very lucky in the way I found people and collaborators in this field. I'm very grateful for RunPod, because unless I would have had access to the hardware and the compute necessary to do this research and development, Tyler, let's face it, it's one thing just reading the books, right? Let's imagine you're a surgeon, right? It's one thing to read the theory and another thing to actually go do the live surgery itself. So it's a little bit like one of those where I had the chance to actually practice on the system.
Hey, so Anakin, we actually have a really good question from Dever, who said, can you talk a little bit about the available tools for flux training, and if you have any preference and why between Koya, AI Toolkit, One Trainer, Flux Gym, etc.?
Okay, so one thing I'd like to start with is you've mentioned Koya and you've mentioned AI Toolkit. AI Toolkit is one of the tools that allows you to train in that second version of training. Remember how saying Koya does it with repeats and epochs? Toolkit does it only with steps. So you put in the number of steps. Would you like me to, I don't know, take you through one of those, or would you like me to stay with Koya for now?
Do we have a preference, guys? Dever said yes. Yes, what? Stay with Koya or take you through one of those?
Although I would like to point out that tool does things differently. So the parameters that we're talking about right now with Koya, they're going to become irrelevant. Because the tool does things completely different.
Yeah, no, he was just saying yes, that he agrees with the training type.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, so let's. I don't know if I answered his question entirely, but for the more complex questions, like one of his, because there's just so many tools of them. There's also Simple Tuner. There's One Trainer, just like you mentioned. There's also AI Toolkit. There's Koya. So coming back here, for those that have yet to. This is only training related, so this is not going to help you with the generation of images per se. This will only allow you to train the LoRa's itself, and then the generations you will have to do yourself. So I will just take you through the process of setting up a pod that's going to run on the Koya environment on RunPod, and then you'll be able to take it from there. I'll cover some of the more exotic parameters as well. Nonetheless, the way you would start is you come to pods like you've seen me. You will do deploy, choose the GPU that you want to run. I would like to point out that the RTX 6000 ADA is a very good GPU for this. The way I evaluate the GPUs, because some of these trainings that I run, they are in the hundreds of dollars for one training. And guys, I'm not exaggerating. Good training comes at a cost. So in here for the L40 GPU, which is resembles the ADA 6000 quite a bit, you can see the performance that you're going to get out of running at bfloat 16. These are values that determine the quality and accuracy of the training that you're going to do. Obviously, with a TF, with an FP32 bit version of the training, it will take more space. First of all, it will be a larger file size, but the resulting accuracy will be more on par with what you want from the system. So let's say, for example, that you would like to make yourself a digital twin, a digital persona, or an AI influencer of yourself, and you want it to look like yourself. With an FP32, it will get you there in terms of accuracy a lot better. It's not faster than BF16 or FP16. It will just look more like you. So it's in terms of those type of particularities. It's about the aesthetics of the image itself and the precision when it comes to trying to replicate something as close as possible. Nonetheless, for what we're doing over here, just a style, BF16 is more than enough. You can see that BF16 does it at 181 teraflops. It also supports sparsity, which is high. I have yet to figure out exactly how to train with sparsity, but this, in theory, and based on what a paper says, doubles the performance, not just for BF16, but for 32 as well. In terms of the H100, obviously it's very good, but cost-wise, you could rent 3 L40s and have 150 gigs of VRAM versus 80. So this is a lot more cost effective, and it will get you there with a higher precision than only one of these. And you can, like, if you do 3 times 1.3, is cheaper than, right? So I've kind of deviated a little bit. Change this to the core that you want to run, PyTorch 240. Let's set some values in here. For the disk itself, this is going to be flux, so you will need at least 80 for LORAs. So we set our config, we do deploy. And I like to point out, I never ever had a problem with RunPod. Reliability is very, very good. And not just reliability, but one thing, Tyler, that people are not usually aware of, right? Because they just see this as a service, like the interface, and then they say, oh my God, like it's there. But it's also important for you as a creator to have the reassurance that the connections on the actual, the physical machines themselves, they are set up properly, so that you take basically you get what you paid for. And with RunPod, I have that reassurance myself. That's why I'm fairly partial to not using anything else.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's copy over here.
Yeah, evil penguin. Don't worry, buddy. This is definitely going on YouTube. Do not worry. And I'm gonna, when I edit the YouTube video, I'm gonna put the final results of the LoRa that he trained at the end of that as well.
I will show you guys how to make this as seamless as possible. So as you see, the next thing that I've done, I came over here, I got the URL. Once you come on the Koya page, you don't need to worry about anything else. Just get this URL from GitHub, come back to run pod. The way I've connected, like once my pod is set up, it will look exactly like this. You do connect to the Jupyter port over there. I'll close this because it's a double. Do not need updates. I do terminal, and in here, what I'll do, we're gonna do git clone, and we're gonna do. I'm missing an L. Git clone branch. Let's see the name of the actual branch itself. In here, master. I think this is the one that supports Flux. You need to be careful to make the proper. I mean, to get the proper branch sd3-flags, because otherwise you might end up with different files. Let's see. I hope this is flags.1 sd3, like this. All right, and then we paste the URL. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, come on, guys, give me a bit of speed. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to move inside the folder, and we're going to do the same thing again, because like I said, now you've copied the interface. This over here is the interface. Now I've changed directory so that I'm in here, and the first thing that I'll do, I am going to delete this folder over here because this is empty. There's nothing in this, so I don't need this. I can just do delete. And I'm going to do again git clone, but this time I am going to get Koya's scripts. So in here, what I'll do, I am going to copy this link, and in here, this is the one that I need sd3. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to paste his link. And now I can refresh this, and I have a new SD scripts folder that has all the required Python files in there. Next thing we need to do, we need to initialize this. So there's a setup runpod.sh, because there is a file that's been created already. We copied this. Now we do enter, and we just let it do its stuff. The performance of this is based on the hardware that's running on the backend. So like I said, attached to this we have the RTX 6000 GPU over there. All right, this is going to be a minute. In the meantime, let me walk you a little bit through what this prior preservation tool does, because this is one of the reasons why we're running this here, so that I can show you where to access this particular setting. This is going to give a lot of people something to play with, because what prior preservation does, this is an option that allows you to train your LoRa in such a way as to dip inside the base model and borrow some of the concepts that are already trained in the system in order to have the generation come out in a different fashion. In the meantime, let's see, do we have any samples? Oh boy, can I refresh this? Oh wow, it has yet to do one epoch. What the hell? There's only 25 images.
Yeah, we'll probably have to get that for. You'll just have to send it to me after the stream is done, so I can put it in the final
I
video.
will. Thank you for who gave me a 5,000 bus tip.
That was that
so-
was
Oh,
me.
that was you.
That was me.
Thank
That was
you.
me.
Wonderful. That is wonderful. So coming back here, okay, we can ignore this here. There's another thing we need to do. The requirements. And while it does that, I'm going to tell it over here to install bits and bytes for me, because inside bits and bytes, I don't know how many of you know this, I will give you another Easter egg. Let's come in here as the. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of you might have had an error in the past that had something to do with missing bits and bytes and needing bits and bytes. In bits and bytes, there is a repository, and in here we can find some of these existing samplers and schedulers, mostly schedulers and optimizers. Now, when we come in optimizer in here, let's see. This one has, okay, that one, 8-bit to state. Give me a minute. Let's go to the Atom optimizer because it's a little bit more interesting than that. All right. As you know, we are training with Atom 8-bit. So in this class of Atom 8-bit, this is why it needs bits and bytes, because Atom 8-bit is available within this bits and bytes repository inside a Python file. And this optimizer is now running and actually helping the system train. And it does this, with a list of parameters. But what I like to point out is that in here, you will find the definitions to what a lot of these things do. See, it says EPS, it's a float, it defaults to 1e minus 8. So this is 1 exponent minus 8. What this means is that you have a 1 and then there's 8 zeros. So you do 0, 7 zeros and a 1. So it's a very small value. And then it says the epsilon value prevents division by 0 in the optimizer. Like there's a couple of descriptions that you'll find, but you will also find optimizers that are not necessarily available. Now the way I do a lot of my trainings on my end, I've used both this optimizer as well as some of the other ones, but I strongly encourage for those that understand coding and that know stuff to dig in a little bit deeper, because you can find amazing things, and those things will definitely help out. All right, coming back to what we have over here now, since this is already installed, what we can do Python Koya. There we are. Oh, come on, give me the link, please. Thank you.
So we have a question in the chat that says that asked me to ask you about the effect of X-formers and the possible negative effects of projected attenuation.
Okay, hold on, repeat that.
The question is on the screen.
I don't see your screen. Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Just take a look at the restream tab.
Yeah, I say ask him to get into the effects of X-former and the possible negative effects of projected. Yeah, this is something that I have yet to have the chance to do the digging in, because I have yet to experience how the effects of projected attenuation impact the system's ability to diffuse an image of a Perse Prada. So it's a question for a little bit of research and development. That's what this implies. So I don't have an answer for it. It's a very good question. I'm curious as well. If he has some insights, I would love to hear it. But like I said, most of the stuff that I am giving you and some of these definitions and things are based on what the need is, basically, and how this helped me shape the output in order to fit that particular need. And that need is usually a request from a client, whether it's to train a model, that does logos or does anime like the one we're doing. So
Hey,
here we are. We have some samples.
hey, KF, we got your cat with the gun.
It's definitely getting there, and it did do 2 extra samples. Nice. Sitting on rooftop with shingles, see, posing eyes, lidded eyes. What this means is that the eyes are half open. Hands on head, pretty, okay, dark blue, thin eyebrows, wearing red pants, definitely lavender lips. You can't really see that far. Pink dress, probably it's the dress with pants. Well, she's not exactly standing because one of the things was saying sitting. So this is why usually when we do the diffusion, the order of these words and how the model chooses to generate these things in the image is impacted by the way we put these tags in here. So for example, if we had standing instead of sitting in the order of things, then most probably she would have been standing. So the priority and the way you put your tokens will impact that final generation.
I think the entire point of it, which was the style, got captured pretty well. And I think just by looking at the prompt, obviously, if you put someone is sitting and standing in the same prompt, it's probably going to make them do the thing that it says in the prompt first, right? So, with all respects to kind of like what we did there, but I think I would say that was a success.
Yes, it's not exactly there, not yet, because the colors are kind of vibrant, but it is on the proper path forward. It's definitely getting there, and we already have someone in the dataset on shingles as well. So I believe this sort of caption over here refers more to this. So one way of figuring out whether your training has reached the point, the culmination point, I call it, is to compare the sample with the image representative of the tag that you've used to sample your image. So you'll see that as the training progresses, the camera angle is going to change to fit more what goes with this, the image that goes with this type of captions.
Gotcha. Well, the good news is too, that's only the first epoch. There's 9 more to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So
Definitely.
it could probably get closer. But what let's take these last 10 minutes and have you go through some more of the important points that you would like to point out in Koya here.
So I pointed out to how the prior preservation loss parameter. This is not something that's available on the Civitai trainer. The way this works is you have your input images. As you can see, the dog in here. The dog is always sitting. I would like you to pay special attention to the fact that in every single image the dog is sitting or is lie down. Now, when you train with prior preservation, it means if the base model that you're training your LoRa on is in here, when you do your training, the system gives you the ability to choose a pre-trained model. If inside that model already exists a range of dogs in different poses, environments, and things like that, you have the option of choosing just how much you'd like to dip inside that pool of knowledge in order to have your generation come out as something that you did not necessarily had in your data set. So this means is that you are using the model's prior knowledge in order to shape the generation in some sort of fashion. See, so because the base model has seen different dogs that is sitting or standing up, or right, at this point it imprinted your dog's likeness over that existing pool of dogs.
Very
Clear
good
enough.
to know. Very good to know.
So you have the option of choosing how much. Now, the value that is too high, it might not resemble your data set at all anymore. So, there is, I say play with the value depending on what it is that you train. What I've noticed is if you use this value, let's say as much as 20, for example, it's good enough to capture a high amount of information from the model you're training on top of. Now, obviously, this is just one of the many things. Another one that I can share with you guys is weighted captions. Now, this is something that not a lot of people know. But the way weighted captions work, for example, let's come over here. Let's say we have our different types of hair. So these are weighted captions. That's what it means. It means I can emphasize on a particular thing within the system. So it means I have the hair. If I want it to be super messy, then I can put the number of parentheses on that particular token. So this over here, let's say with 1 square parenthesis would be messy hair, but if I want it extremely messy, then I would put 3 of them in order to emphasize that in that image, that one thing hair is looks in this variation, basically. So it's teaching the system variations of the same thing, more or less type of thing, depending on the subject that you're doing. You want to have more of it or you want to have less of it. That's what weighted captions is. But in order to do this, you would have to put your captions within when you do your tags in that shape, so that the system understands. And obviously you need to have this checked. All right, let's see the samples over there.
And guys, after this is all done, Anakin, you'll make this LoRa available to download, or
yes, definitely
put it in the image generator so people can mess around with it and see how good it came out.
Now, like Tyler said, I wish I had enough time to actually walk people through a lot of this stuff. But put it this way: all these values and parameters and that you have in here, imagine this as kind of being your harp or your guitar, and then depending on how you play these strings and values, you're gonna get your music come out at the other end.
So, Anakin, is there anything kind of to wrap this up here that you would like to say to everyone kind of in closing, or maybe like a few like smaller tips that you would like people to keep in mind when they are training their LoRas, whether it be on site on Civitai in the LoRa trainer, or on Koya locally, or on RunPod by themselves?
Well, the parameters that are already available on Civit, they're very good. They will get the job done. I don't think people will have any issues going with the parameters that are already available. But if there is something that I could advise people on, has to do with the caption, because that's how you communicate with the system. It's not exactly these parameters. This is not how you talk to it. It's mostly through how you tag and do what it is that you want to do. And because these captions, this is your direct way of communicating with the system to tell it what's actually inside this image and what is happening. Now, yes, on the other hand, it's true that depending on the schedulers and optimizers that you use, some of them tend to do things a lot better depending on the circumstance. So this means that we can use an optimizer as eta factor with cosine in order to represent a slice of bread, but that doesn't mean that cosine would be the best scheduler to represent a feather. So depending on how you set these values in here, it impacts how the system trains and affects your output at the end. So, but the thing that I'd like people to focus on is the captions, like I said, because this will allow you to do a lot more wonderful things than playing with the parameters in there. So, for example, the way you train a character or a style is all in the captions themselves.
Yeah. So, Evil Penguin. So definitely take a look at the LoRa, as that'll have the data set in
So
it. But
this
then,
folder in here, yes, I think I can do that. I shouldn't be an issue. I have this here. We're gonna have to arrange something after the stream in order to make this available somehow. All right.
yeah, no, but also too, they can at the beginning of the stream, when we were first diving into this, you had the
Mhm.
caption pulled up. So if you guys want to get a better feel for how he is captioning, just go back to the beginning of the stream, and when he pulls up the captions, just pause the video and you can read it, and that should give
Yeah.
you a pretty solid idea of.
But keep in mind that is specific to this style, because that was the whole point behind this, to capture only the style. So you will see that
Yes.
inside these captions, I do not mention anything related to the style itself. It's mostly describing what's in the scene.
Yeah, no. So Anakin,
Mhm.
tell the people all the places they can find you and where the best places that they can keep up with you are.
Well, the best place to find me is on the Crystal Clear Discord. I will share with you. I'll give you Tyler link.
Yes, put it in the little private chat and then I'll share it with
Yes.
everybody.
Let me minimize this. Second, over there, private chat. Here it is. So that's the fastest way of getting in touch with me. Now, I've been involved in this field for quite quite a few places. I've been basically, like, in terms of doing AI models of AI influencers, logos, cars, clothing and apparel. There's a number of them. I've seen how the system perform doing a variety of things, and I do take commissions and requests. Currently, I'm over flooded. The number of things that I have to deal with in terms of doing trainings, I would definitely suggest. Can you share this with the guys real quick?
Yeah.
Logodiffusion.com. This is the site to a client of mine that I helped with the model training aspect. So I would definitely suggest people visit that. It's more of a professional approach to model training and generating images, seeing the great advantages these systems can bring to the field. I would also definitely suggest people to check out Run Diffusion as well. Run Diffusion was one of my first, if not the first company that I collaborated with. They really helped me set a foot in this industries, because originally, I don't know how many of you know, but I'm not alone in this. I have a team of people. They're all dedicated to the art. They're very talented as well. When it comes to these models, there's, as you've seen, a certain level of research and development that needs to be done. So the testing initially was done with the help of Run Diffusion, because it allows for team plans, meaning if you're a company, you have a team of people that you would like to generate stuff. It's a great way of using resources. So on my end, is we're mostly for testing out these models before releasing them to the public. Obviously, the more secretive commission, so to speak, like clients that don't really want their stuff shared, I wouldn't use it on Run Diffusion. That's something that I would do locally or on platforms that are safer. I'm not saying Run Diffusion is not safe or anything like that, but some people, they want to keep their stuff to themselves. So.
Oh, we get it, man. We get it. So yeah, so I did see on your screen, since you're sharing, a bunch of people had already hopped into your Discord
Yes.
server. So I love to see that. Guys, make sure you go follow WARANAKIN on his Civitai profile. I pinned that to the top of the Twitch chat, but just for anyone that's watching anywhere else, I will go ahead and link it in the chat one more time here. Yeah, man, we're definitely going to have to circle back with you, because I know that there.
Definitely.
Oh
See
wow,
the colors there already. I told you the colors.
yeah, yeah. Epoch number 2 looks great.
Mhm.
But no, we're definitely going to have to circle back with you, because there is too much to all this, and too much that you know specifically. And I know that some of this can get very technical for some people, but there are a lot of little gems that you can take away from these types of conversations to further improve what you guys are doing, regardless of kind of what skill level you're at, because at the end of the day, it's all about learning and all about trying to get better. We will definitely be having you back on the stream. That was a lot in 90 minutes, and I am sure people are going to go and watch this video back so they can kind of fully comprehend some of the stuff that you were talking about.
Definitely. The easiest way, like I said, if anyone has any questions, you will find me on Discord. It's a chat space, so don't be shy to post things around and ask, because that's the purpose of Discord.
That is the purpose of Discord. Guys, with that being said, we are going to wrap this up, and let's see, next week, what do we got going on? Next week, Thursday, I'll be back. I am going to prepare another tutorial type thing for you guys, kind of like what we did yesterday. I will figure out what that is, but feedback I've gotten is that you guys like getting some more of those little AI video and animation tutorials. So we're going to go back to doing some more high value content. You're not going to see me rap Crip Kill. That's not something that's going to be on the menu. Tyler is not rapping. That's not something we're doing. Maybe if you can send me the right amount of buzz, though, I could be coerced. But we're unsure about that. Don't know if you got enough, if you got enough buzz to make that happen. With that being said, next week Friday we are going to have another really amazing LoRa trainer for you guys, who I'm sure his process is different from WARANAKIN, and I think it's going to be really great to get all these different perspectives, especially since this particular gentleman doesn't, and like a lot of his stuff, we saw his LoRas on the stream last week, are like he leans very heavily into the video game aesthetic, and he does so really well. So next week, Friday, we will have KF Tiger on the stream, aka K-Bro from the Twitch chat, who has been here the whole time. Shout out to him for coming and supporting WARANAKIN, since they are two peas in the same pod, training LORAs at very high levels. So, yeah, man. Next week, runway video tutorial. Video to video. I don't know. I don't know about that one. We'll see. I'm gonna figure out something good for you guys for next week Thursday though, and we will have some fun and we will learn something. Anakin, dude, thank you so much once again. Can't say thank you enough. That was a lot of knowledge you dropped, and I see in the chat people appreciate it. I know I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything that you do and that you share on Civitai. Without you and without everyone in the chat, the website is not what it is.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tyler. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Have a great weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Ali will be back on Monday with your office hours. You will see me next week, Thursday. Go to civitai.com, drop us a like, drop us a follow, find us on all the socials at Hello Civitai or at Civitai. We greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get to 20K on Instagram and 20K on YouTube. We are almost there. We're at 14K on both of them, which is massive from everything starting at 0. So, guys, this is civitai.com. My name is Tyler, aka JBoogs Creative. This is WARANAKIN. Go download his LORAs and his models and his checkpoints because his stuff is top tier. And we will catch you all next week. We're out. Peace.
Bye.
And